Today I want to talk about how to use quotation marks in dialogue in your writing. Dialogue is a conversation between characters in a story. Use quotation marks to include direct quotations or a character's exact words. For example, Mario said, "Get me a Coke," and Elena replied, "Get it yourself." You can see both Mario's speech and Elena's speech are inside of quotation marks. My math teacher said with a frown on her face, 3 plus 3 does not equal 33, and I suspect you were pulling my leg. Again, you can see that the math teacher's direct quotation is in quotation marks. Do not use quotation marks with indirect quotations. So a correct way to write it would be, Juanita said that she wants a pot-bellied pig for a pet. This is an indirect quotation. An incorrect way to write it would be, Juanita said that, quote, she wants a pot-bellied pig for a pet, end quote. That is incorrect. You could also say, Juanita said, quote, I want a pot-bellied pig for a pet. In this way, it is a direct quotation. Thoughts or questions in someone's mind do not need quotation marks. A correct way to write this sentence would be, will I survive this bungee jump? Becca wondered. An incorrect way to write it would be, quote, will I survive this bungee jump? End quote, Becca wondered. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? I told Tucker to, quote, finish his homework, end quote. Or B, I told Tucker to finish his homework. What do you think? The answer is B. I told Tucker to finish his homework because it is an indirect quote. We don't need quotation marks. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? I've asked myself many times, why eat vegetables? Or B, I've asked myself many times, quote, why eat vegetables, end quote. The answer is A, because when you are talking to yourself, you don't need quotation marks. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? Chase said, quote, I can't wait until the football game tonight, end quote. Or B, Chase said that he, quote, can't wait for the football game tonight, end quote. The answer is A, because A is a direct quotation. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? A, I looked down and noticed I'd put on 2 different shoes and thought, quote, what was I thinking, end quote. B, I looked down and noticed I put on 2 different shoes and thought, what was I thinking? The answer is B, because when you're talking to yourself, you don't need to put it in quotation marks. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? A, Mom told me to, quote, do my homework, end quote. Or B, Mom told me to do my homework. The answer is B, because this is an indirect quotation. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? A, Jason asked if, quote, anyone wants to play basketball, end quote. Or B, quote, does anyone want to play basketball, end quote, Jason asked. The answer is B, because this is an example of a direct quotation. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? A, quote, come on, you can do this, end quote, I told myself. Or B, come on, you can do this, I told myself. The answer is B, because again, you don't need quotations when you're talking to yourself. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? My little sister said that, quote, she wants a pony for Christmas, end quote. Or B, my little sister said that she wants a pony for Christmas. The answer is B. This is an indirect quotation, so we don't need quotation marks. All right, how did you do with those? Let's talk about dialogue tags. A dialogue tag is a small phrase in the beginning, middle, or end of dialogue. Here's an example of a dialogue tag in the beginning. Kate said, comma, quotation, hello, period, end quote. So you can see that we have the comma before the opening quotation after the tag, and then the capital letter begins the quotation, and we have a period or other end mark inside the quotation mark here. Now let's look at a tag in the middle. I'm hungry, Kate said, and I'm dying for some pizza. So we've got quote, a comma before the end quote. Next we have the dialogue tag and the comma after the tag because the sentence is still going. And then we start the quote again, and is not capitalized because we're just continuing the sentence. I'm dying for some pizza, period, or other end mark inside the end quotation mark. Now let's take a look at a tag at the end of a sentence. We have, hello, Kate said. Hello is the part that she said, and it's in quotation marks, but we have a comma instead of a period or other end mark before the end quotation because our sentence finishes here at the end. The period goes after the end tag. So let's practice punctuating these dialogue tags. Here we have a tag at the beginning. Talia said, let's play Jenga. Or Talia shouted. How would we punctuate that? Talia shouted, comma, quote, let's play Jenga, exclamation point, end quote. Now here, tag at the end. We would say, I want to play cards, said David. How would we punctuate that? Quote, I want to play cards, comma, end quote, said David, period. All right, let's try one with a tag in the middle. I want to eat my candy, Gerald told them, and sit on the floor. What does that look like? Quote, I want to eat my candy, comma, end quote, Gerald told them, comma, quote, and sit on the floor, period, end quote. All right, I hope this helps you understand a little bit better how you need to punctuate dialogue use dialogue and punctuate dialogue in your writing.